In a world long shaped by the powerful influence of America, a quiet yet profound revolution is underway. Canada and Japan, once steadfast allies of the US, are forging a new partnership that could redefine the 21st century. This isn't just another trade deal, it's a strategic realignment, signaling that the old global order is shifting. The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord marks a pivotal moment, two middle powers stepping onto the main stage, seeking stability and prosperity less dependent on Washington's influence. For decades, the global system heavily relied on American might and leadership. Now, that anchor is dragging, and new alliances are forming in its wake. The Canada-Japan alliance is the most significant of these, aiming to build a more resilient and balanced world order. Their collaboration spans critical minerals, advanced technology, defense, and cultural exchange, creating a powerful new axis in the strategically vital Indo-Pacific region. This is more than strategy, it's a bold statement. Relying on a single superpower is a vulnerability. As US leadership wavers, Canada and Japan are diversifying partnerships, building new bridges, and protecting their national interests. The world watches with both hope and apprehension as these two nations take control of their destinies. This is the unfolding story of how a new world is being built, piece, by two determined and visionary partners. The new era is just beginning, full of promise and potential. Canada and Japan's relationship spans nearly a century, marked by both cooperation and conflict. Diplomatic ties began in 1928, but World War II and the internment of Japanese Canadians left deep scars. Yet post-war reconciliation and Japan's economic rise set the stage for a new partnership based on shared democratic values. Over decades, trade and investment intertwined their economies. Japanese automakers in Canada, Canadian resources fueling Japan. Both nations became active in global forums, often aligning on free trade and multilateralism. The turning point came as US protectionism grew and its global leadership waned, leaving both Ottawa and Tokyo feeling vulnerable. Decades of cooperation suddenly gained urgent strategic importance. The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord is not the beginning, but the next chapter, a friendship transformed into a strategic imperative. It's the culmination of a long, evolving relationship, now responding to seismic global shifts.
On September 15, 2025, Prime Ministers Trudeau and Kishida unveiled the Ottawa-Tokyo Accord, a comprehensive blueprint for deep integration between their nations. The accord covers defense, cybersecurity, energy, technology, and culture, aiming to secure a shared and prosperous future for both countries. Trudeau declared, "Canada is building new bridges with partners who share our values and our vision for a peaceful world. Japan is a partner for the century ahead, and together we will shape the future."
Kishida echoed, "Together we'll uphold stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific and beyond, ensuring our people thrive."
The accord rests on three pillars: economic security, defense cooperation, and technological partnership, forming a strong foundation. Canada will supply critical minerals for Japan's industries, supporting advanced manufacturing and innovation, while both nations collaborate on military exercises and cybersecurity. Joint research in AI, quantum computing, and clean energy aims to make them leaders in future technologies and sustainable solutions.
Canadians are excited by new opportunities for growth, innovation, and international collaboration, and a more assertive, confident global role for their country.
In Japan, the partnership is seen as a smart move to diversify alliances, strengthen regional security, and boost economic resilience. The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord is a deliberate step toward a more resilient, independent, and forward-looking future.
The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord has sent shockwaves through the global order, linking two spokes and bypassing the traditional US-EU hub. This unexpected partnership is being discussed in capitals around the world as it signals a major change in how international alliances are formed. Middle powers are no longer passive. They're actively building their own networks and spheres of influence, forging new relationships that challenge the old status quo.
Officially, Washington welcomes the move, but privately there's concern and even unease about what this means for American influence. The alliance is a quiet rebuke to America's unpredictability, highlighting the risks of inconsistent foreign policy. It forces the US to recognize its allies have options, and its leadership can't be taken for granted in this new era.
In Europe, leaders see the Canada-Japan model as a template for new alliances. Germany and South Korea, France and Australia are already exploring similar partnerships. For China and Russia, the accord complicates their ambitions, strengthening the democratic bloc in the Indo-Pacific and making regional dominance more difficult. For Canada, it cements its Pacific identity and global significance, opening doors to new economic and diplomatic opportunities.
For Japan, it's a step toward a more proactive foreign policy, moving beyond post-war passivity and embracing a leadership role. The alliance empowers both nations to pursue their interests with new confidence and a sense of shared purpose. This realignment is reshaping not just global perceptions, but also how Canada and Japan see themselves on the world stage. The world is watching closely as middle powers take the lead and redefine the rules of engagement. A new balance of power is emerging, and its impact will be felt for years to come.
The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord isn't just about politics. It's about building a lasting, meaningful cultural bridge that connects people across continents. The Pacific Youth Ambassador Program will send 10,000 students and professionals between the two countries, fostering first-hand understanding and lifelong friendships. Joint cultural funds will support collaborative projects in film, music, and the arts, weaving the two cultures even closer together.
In Canada, the alliance will elevate Japanese-Canadian contributions and celebrate their unique heritage. It will also spark new interest in Japanese culture among Canadians of all ages. In Japan, increased Canadian presence will encourage openness, diversity, and new perspectives. These people-to-people ties make the alliance resilient, helping it outlast political changes. Friendships, collaborations, and shared experiences will transform the accord into a living, breathing relationship. This cultural bridge is the alliance's true and enduring foundation. Dr. Evelyn Reed, a leading Indo-Pacific expert, calls the Ottawa-Tokyo Accord the most significant middle power move of the century. She argues it's not anti-US but pro-stability, a safety net as American politics grow unpredictable. Both nations remain committed to US security treaties, but are hedging against uncertainty. Dr. Reed, the critical minerals partnership is brilliant, reducing dependence on China and modeling secure democratic supply chains. She predicts this could spark a strategic decoupling from authoritarian regimes, making the global economy more secure. Reed cautions that success depends on political will and managing cultural differences, but the strategic logic is powerful. Both nations have too much at stake to let this fail. If successful, they'll set a new standard for global partnerships. The world is watching and learning. The stakes couldn't be higher.
The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord has drawn global reactions. Europe cheers, China criticizes, and the US stays mostly silent, watching events unfold with careful interest. European leaders praise the alliance as a bold step for democracy and strategic autonomy, studying it as a model for future partnerships and regional stability. Beijing denounces it as Cold War thinking, seeing it as a challenge to its ambitions and a threat to its growing influence in the region.
Australia and New Zealand welcome the move, while South Korea watches cautiously, balancing its own alliances and weighing possible outcomes. ASEAN nations remain neutral, seeking good relations with all powers and avoiding entanglement in great power rivalries. The most telling response is Washington's quiet, supportive on the surface but uneasy beneath, hinting at deeper uncertainties.
America faces the reality of its allies, preparing for a future where US leadership is no longer guaranteed. The silence speaks volumes about shifting power. The world is learning to live without a single superpower, adapting to a new and uncertain era. The Canada-Japan alliance is a tectonic shift, middle powers taking charge of their destinies. The Ottawa-Tokyo Accord declares that nations can shape history, not just watch it. This partnership is proactive diplomacy in action, offering a model for others, seeking stability and autonomy. By combining strengths, Canada and Japan create a new center of economic and political gravity. This isn't about building walls, but bridges, resilient enough to weather global storms. The world will watch. Can promises become action? Can differences be overcome? Will others follow? The outcome will influence strategic choices from Washington to Beijing. For all of us, this story matters. It's a glimpse of a future built on trust and shared values. In a world pulling apart, Canada and Japan are pulling together. The path is difficult, but hopeful. A new conversation about global leadership has begun. The new era is here,